All right, we're working on lesson 3, which is graphing straight lines. And it's important to talk about some stuff that you need to know. The slope is the first thing. And slope is the change in y over the change in x. They call it the rise over the run. In other words, it's how far up you go, that's the rise, compared to how far forward you go, that's the run, to get to your spot. And that is, since it's change in y, I always do I always do the second coordinate, so it'd be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you can see some of the examples that they've got there, and some of them get a little complicated. But the important thing to remember is that these are the intercept slope form of the equation. Y equals mx plus b. This is the slope, and this is the intercept. Now our book calls it the slope-intercept form because the slope comes before intercept. I call it the intercept-slope form so that you remember you start at the intercept and then you do the slope. So all we're going to do is just look at some of the problems that we have to do for our assignment, and we have to do the odd ones in our assignment. So let's get started on our problems that we have to do. Here we go. All right, so number 2, since you have to do the odd, we'll do the even. Rise is 6 over run is 4. If we wrote that, we would get it checked wrong because that is not correct. You have to simplify it. 6/4. I'm going to put that onto my calculator. 6 fraction 4, just to show you that indeed it is 3/2, which I suppose you would have known. Divide top and bottom by 2, and then you would have had your right answer. Number 4 is 7.93 over negative 2.66. Now I would do that on the calculator because that's about the only way to find the common denominator of those two. 7.93 over negative 2.66. Now my calculator simplifies that as a fraction, and it shows that they aren't simplifiable, and we get 2.98. Now we have to have 3 sig figs because we've got 3 here, so it'll be 2.98. Those other digits were just showing that the 8 repeats. All of those digits repeat. I wonder how many there are that repeat. Quite a few, apparently. Let's see here. Man, there's a lot of them that repeat. We'll just stick with the 2.98. It would be followed by a 1. So we'll have 3 sig figs there. And it's negative. Did I have negative in the answer? Yep, negative. I just forgot to write the negative sign. Number 6, find the slope. So we're going to, the change in y, the 2 points that we have are 5, 2, and 3, 6. So it's the change in y, 6 minus 2 over 3 minus 5. 6 minus 2 is 4. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. 4 over negative 2 is negative 2. Number 8. I think the best way to do that one would be on our calculator, since we're going to have to do some pretty intense subtracting anyway. 2.69 minus negative 3.64. The most common thing people do wrong is they forget to put in that negative, over negative 6.93 minus 3.88, and get that in sig figs. It's negative. Looks like we have to have 3 digits. So since it's 0.58556, we can only have 3 digits because that's how many digits we have in our question. So our answer will be 0.586. Number 10 is actually pretty easy. Y equals 7x plus 2. This is the slope, so we would write m is 7, and this is the intercept. B is positive 2. Number 12, y equals negative 1.75x minus 5.44, and we get m is negative 1.75 and b is negative 5.44. Last one that we have to do is, you have to do 19. So I am going to do number 20. How does that sound? Okay, so what I'm going to do is write the equation that goes through that point and make a graph. Negative 3, 5 is around here someplace. 1, 3. Okay, the first thing we have to do is find the slope. M equals, so our second y is 3 minus our first y is 5 over our second x is 1 minus our first x, negative 3. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. 1 minus negative 3 is the same as 1 plus 3 is 4. So that's negative 1/2. Okay, so, and then the other thing we have to do is we have to get the intercept. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus b. Okay, now there's a couple ways to do that. Let's see, which way should we do it? Let's just substitute in one of our points. Let's take this point right here. So y minus 3 equals negative 1/2 of x minus 1, because that's our x coordinate. Okay. Y minus 3 equals negative 1/2 x plus 1/2, right? Negative times a negative is a positive. Put the 3 over on the other side, so y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3.5. I don't know how the book wants you to do it. It'd be interesting to see. Hey, the other thing that you could do is you could do this in Excel. Kind of interesting. All you do is you just write down the 2 points. I forgot what they were already. X, Y. X was negative 3. Y was 5. X was 1. Y is 3. and then try to make it with two. You have to actually add a blank spot, so put in one extra spot after you enter your data, then go insert a scatter plot, and when you do, add a trend line and put in the equation, and when you do, you can see that you get y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3.5. So that's how you do that problem.